A dead man's voicemail exposed a government conspiracy. Welcome to Detective Stories by Asma, where every clue tells a secret and every secret hides a lie. A woman receives a voicemail, her husband's voice desperate, terrified, screaming for help. "Sarah, they found me, please. If you get this, run." But her husband died 2 days ago. Sarah, mid-30s, quiet, grieving, sits alone in her apartment. It's only been 48 hours since the funeral. Her husband, David, died in a car crash, or so they said. She hasn't slept. The world feels fake. Suddenly, her phone vibrates. A voicemail alert blinks, clicks play. What she hears makes her blood run cold. David recorded voice, gasping. "Sarah, listen to me. I don't have much time. They're watching me. If anything happens, if you hear this, run. Trust no one. Not even." She drops the phone. It crashes to the floor. Her knees go weak. This can't be real. It can't. David is dead. They buried him 2 days ago. The next morning, Sarah walks into the local precinct with trembling hands and 1,000 questions. The officers look at her with pity and disbelief. "A voicemail? Are you sure it wasn't an old recording?" She plays the audio. They listen, nod, take notes, and then gently suggest she speak to a grief counselor. One man in the corner watches quietly. Detective Abner Ryan. Sharp-eyed, reserved, haunted by his own ghosts. After she leaves, he requests the call logs and metadata himself. That night, Abner listens to the voicemail again, and again, something's off. The timestamps don't match. The voicemail was sent after David's death, and from a number that doesn't exist anymore. Stranger still, the phone that placed the call was disconnected 3 months ahead. Calls Sarah. "I want to hear everything, from the beginning." They meet in a cafe. She tells him about David, loving, loyal, brilliant tech engineer. Died in a hit and run. Closed casket, no autopsy. They said the body was too damaged, she whispers. Did he have enemies? No, at least I didn't think so. Abner's instincts kick in. Something's wrong with this story. Abner sends the voicemail for forensic analysis. Results are chilling. No signs of manipulation. The call originated from a location inside David and Sarah's apartment at 3:04 a.m. the night before the funeral. Sarah is shaken. She swears she was asleep. Abner visits the apartment, inspects the router, the devices, finds nothing until he notices a strange symbol scratched into the back of a photo frame, a tiny icon. Not a drawing, but a line of computer code. David left a message, a hidden one. That night, Sarah hears a sound, a voice, faint, buried under static, coming from her Bluetooth speaker. She checks her phone. It's off. No app is open. The voice repeats the same words. It's not over. Not yet. Find the key. She calls Abner. He returns and scans the apartment with a frequency scanner. Finds something hidden behind the walls, a mini transmitter disguised as a surge protector. Inside, they find a microSD card and a second voicemail. This one is clear. David's voice again, calm, controlled. If you're hearing this, they've already erased me. Everything I knew, everything I feared, it's on this drive. You can't trust the police. You can't trust my boss. And Sarah trusts no one, not even. Sarah stares at Abner, terrified. Who was he about to name? Abner doesn't answer and is staring at the drive. A single file is inside. A video file, labeled only Endgame. He clicks play. David sits in a dark room, eyes puffy, hands trembling. If you're watching this, I didn't make it. There's no time to explain everything, but know this. I was part of something. A project. I thought I was building something to protect people, but I was wrong. So wrong. He looks directly into the camera. They're not after me for what I did. They're after me for what I found. Sarah and Abner sit in silence. A tension hangs in the air like a noose. Abner contacts an old hacker friend, Leah, who decrypts metadata from the video. A file was last modified inside Syntrace Technologies, a massive defense contractor where David used to work. Digging deeper, they uncover a black budget program called Morrigan. On the surface, it was billed as an AI-powered threat detector. But internally, it was something darker, a surveillance system that could predict and manipulate human behavior. David's team had built it. But then he disappeared from the project and was later reported dead. Abner looks Sarah in the eyes. He didn't just find something dangerous. He tried to stop it. Sarah brings Abner a photo she found in an old book, and David at work, smiling. Abner stares at the man beside him. His eyes narrow. It's Deputy Commissioner Nathan Hale, a senior law enforcement official. IHY is a cop standing beside a tech engineer at a private lab. Abner pulls strings and finds out Hale was head of civil integration testing, making sure Morgan could be used by government agency. Hale had denied any knowledge of the program when questioned in Congress. Now, David's voicemail warned Sarah not to trust the police. U.S. Hale, the one he meant? Abner and Sarah plan to break into Syntrace's offsite server vault to recover a second drive. One David mentions in a recovered audio fragment, I creates a fake access badge using metadata and security patterns. Night, they enter the facility. Something goes wrong. They retrieve the hard drive. A silent alarm is triggered. Masked men flood the server room. Abner fights. Sarah runs. Leah guides them out through security tunnels. Barely escaping, they regroup in an abandoned subway station Leah uses as a safe house. On the recovered drive, a list of names, dates, locations. Surveillance videos, some of them are sitting politicians, others? People who died under suspicious circumstances. One file is labeled Sarah Russell Initiated. Sarah watches the video file in horror. Her childhood, her medical records, her college logs, all collected, stored, analyzed by Morrigan. David had tried to delete her from the system, but doing so made him a target. They weren't watching me, she whispers. They were watching through me. Suddenly, a call comes in on an untraceable line. A distorted voice. You're digging too deep, detective. We let you live because you were quiet. But not anymore. This is your final warning. Abner ends the call. The danger is real. NOW. They are being hunted. Sarah looks through more of David's old files, finds an audio diary. If something happens to me, go to the cabin. Not the house, the cabin. You'll find everything there. Abner and Sarah pack their things. They leave Leah's safe house. A red laser flickers on the wall, a sniper beam. Abner pushes Sarah down. A bullet smashes the glass. They run. Car tires screech. Someone wants them silenced. Immediately. They jump into Abner's old car. He hits the gas. Sarah whispers, "We're running out of time." Abner grim, "No, now we're going to make them run." Abner and Sarah speed down a dark forest road. Behind them, a black SUV with tinted windows follows, unrelenting. They're not backing off, Abner says, gripping the wheel. Sarah, trembling, clutches the recovered drive from Syntrace. If we don't make it to that cabin, this all dies with us. They veer off-road into thick woods. The SUV loses them, for now. Hidden deep in northern Vermont, David's family cabin hasn't been touched in years. Cold, dusty, isolated, no power, no signal. Sarah finds old notebooks, photos, and finally, a false wall. Behind it, a military-grade laptop, a tangle of drives, a sealed letter addressed to Sarah, "If I'm gone." She opens it with shaking hands. "My love, if you're reading this, I failed. I was trying to protect you from them, yes. But also from the truth. You were never supposed to be part of Morgan. But they chose you before we met. I only found out after our wedding. I married you out of love, but I stayed with you knowing you were their target. Because I couldn't let them turn you into a weapon. You were meant to be the final test, the first fully manipulated subject. They were going to rewire your life, control your choices. But then you became unpredictable, stronger than their projections. You changed their algorithm just by being you. They were afraid of you. That's why they needed to erase us both." Sarah stares in silence. Her whole life studied, modeled, controlled. Sarah has a panic attack. She runs into the woods, gasping for air. "Am I even real?" she whispers. Abner follows, finds her on her knees, sobbing, kneels beside her. "You are not their creation. You're not a program or a pattern. You're a person. And David, he didn't fall in love with an experiment. He fell in love with you." Sarah nods slowly, eyes red, then let's finish what he started. Inside the cabin's data hub, they decrypt the remaining drive. Abner finds footage from 2 weeks before David's death. He's speaking with someone. In secret, in this very cabin. The camera angle shifts, revealing the person he's meeting. Detective Abner Ryan. Sarah gasps, "What is this?" Abner steps back, speechless, in the footage. David angry. "I trusted you. I gave you everything. And now you're going to report me?" Abner in the video coldly. "You went too far. You know what happens to whistleblowers, David." The footage ends. Sarah turns toward Abner in horror. "You knew him. You were part of this." Abner doesn't deny it. "Yes, I was part of Morgan's damage control unit. I tracked David. Until I realized he was right. I tried to get out. I've been running ever since. Helping you. It's my only way to fix what I broke." Sarah doesn't move. "You lied to me," she says softly. "Yes," Abner says. "And now I'll die trying to make it right." A message appears on the decrypted laptop. Upload final package to public node? Y/N. If they press yes, everything goes public. The names, the plans. The AI's intent, be doing so will put a target on both their back. Just as Sarah moves to press way, the power cuts. Outside, engine sounds. Flashlights in the woods. They've been found. Abner grabs his Jew. Sarah grabs the drive. They run into the woods again. But this time, she's not running from them. She's running toward the endgame. Sarah and Abner run through the woods, breathing heavy. The cold night air burns their lungs. Gunshots crack in the distance. Abner gets grazed on the arm. "Keep going," he yells. "They want the drive." Sarah hesitates, torn, but then runs, rips, hits the ground, and lands near an old hunting shack. Inside, an old radio. A generator. A satellite uplink. It is David's emergency escape point. She powers it on. Lights flicker. The screen boots you. His system asks again. Upload Morgan data? But before she can decide, someone enters the cabin. Deputy Commissioner Nathan Hale walks in, calm, hands in pocket. Behind him, 2 agents. Armed, cold, Hale looks around like he's at a museum. David was brilliant, idealistic, dangerous. You, Sarah, you're the variable. The one our algorithm never accounted for. Sarah clenches the drive in her hand. Hale offers a deal. Hand over the drive. Walk away alive. You expose us, you disappear. Quietly, just like David did. But Sarah doesn't move. You murdered my husband, Hale smiles faintly. We didn't kill him, Sarah. He made a choice. One you now must make too. Suddenly, Abner crashes through the side door, gun raised, a brief gunfight. One agent down, the other flees. Hale grabs Sarah, gun to her temple. You press that button, and millions of people lose faith in their governments. Chaos. Sarah's hand hovers over the keyboard. Abner, bleeding, says softly, "It's your choice now, not theirs." Sarah closes her eyes. Her fingers shake, then she whispers, "You were wrong about David. He didn't fail." She slams her palm onto the keyboard. Upload complete. All across the world, servers begin lighting up. Data dumps, names, evidence. Full scream. Sarah elbows him, grabs his jean, stumbles. Abner pulls Sarah out. They run into the night as helicopters approach. Later, on the news. Massive global leak reveals illegal surveillance program known as Morrigan. Protests erupt across major cities. Cintrace executives arrested. Weeks later, Sarah sits on a park bench watching people laugh, talk, live freely, pulls out her phone. One last audio file remains. David's voice. If you hear this, you did it. I always believed you would. You're the only thing in my life that wasn't calculated. You made me believe in people again. I'm sorry I didn't tell you everything. But if love means anything, it means trusting someone even when you're afraid. I love you. Forever. Sarah closes her eyes. A tear rolls down her cheek. She presses delete, not out of pain, but peace. Walks away. A world has changed because of her. The truth was buried until a single voicemail unearthed everything. In a world built on lies, sometimes the dead are the only ones brave enough to speak. Thank you for watching this original detective story brought to you by Detective Stories by Asma. If this story gripped you, there's more waiting. Subscribe for deeper mysteries, shocking twists, and stories that stay with you long after they end. And remember, not every voice that's silenced is truly gone.